Set the Record. I'm Malcolm Anthony, all the way from Houston, Texas. We got Cody.
Yes, sir. What it do? What it do?
Subscribe to the show wherever you're watching, YouTube, or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Give us those 5 stars. We out here working for them. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Set the Record Pod. Like the Facebook page, Set the Record Podcast. We're talking draft. We're talking playoffs. We're talking news. Huge show planned, of course. I think we should start with the draft. It's like the most recent thing we got, right?
Last night, as of this recording, round 1 did at least, right? Round 2 currently ongoing.
Yep.
But yeah, man, what you think so far of the top 5 picks?
Top 5. Okay, look, I think it started pretty much where I think most people thought it should. Bryce Young, going with the Panthers. I think that was the best pick for the Panthers. They've had a small quarterback in their arsenal just a season ago, so they can kind of work around that with a better version in Bryce Young. So I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be a good fit for the Panthers. They ended up doing lots of good things after Baker had left the facilities. So if you could see the strides without him and put Bryce Young in those shoes, I think it'll be pretty cool to see him out there. I think you actually like the next 2 picks better than anybody.
Like the next 2 picks, man. I'm very happy with the next. I was pretty surprised. I was like, oh, they did it. Because, so the rumors were, okay, well, let's get it out the way. Pick 2 was CJ Stroud. Pick 3, yep. Will Anderson. Both going to the Texans. Texans traded for pick number 3, right? And it's crazy they got both of the guys because it was rumored that they were just going to go ahead and get Will Anderson with pick 2. They were debating Will Anderson pick 2, and then on their next pick, I think it was 12.
Right, and I had
get the last of the quarterbacks that was there, right?
I had read that they might not even take a QB this draft and just stick with Mills. I had read that and I was like, that's crazy. Why would they do that? Like that would be wild. And picking a guy like Will Anderson and not getting CJ Stroud would have been crazy. I think this is awesome. Man, it's such a, game-changing move for the Houston Texans. So that's exciting. If you're a fan, that's got to be super exciting.
Yes, sir. It's really fun. Houston Texans looks like they're finally coming back up. They just recently signed new coach DeMeco Ryans, made pick 2 and 3, made lots of acquisitions and free agency. They still have some holes that need to be filled, obviously, right? But this is the next stage, and they're getting there, and they're gonna have a bright future for sure.
No, for sure. Rounding out the top 5, Anthony Richardson, quarterback from Florida.
Like that.
And note that right there, right? We just named off 3 quarterbacks in the top 4 picks. And rounding out the top 5 was Devon Witherspoon and out of Illinois. So
also like that pick.
And that's I like it too. I think that's a great pick. I think that's a great pick. So in Seattle, I think Seattle. If the Eagles didn't win the first round of this draft, I'd say Seattle gets a solid second. Like
the Eagles kind of snapped, like for real.
Dog, the Eagles are going to be.
They went crazy in the draft.
They're going to be back in the damn Super Bowl. What do they look like? And I don't like to say that. But yeah, no. If anybody got the second place trophy, it goes to Seattle because now their wide receiver room just got a little bit bigger. They got with Jackson Najiba, and I think that's a huge pick at 20. I'm trying to see where he went. He's at Ohio State, so I think that's a huge pick. And like I said, their wide receiver room has DK Metcalf, this kid, and Tyler Lockett. And that's gonna be fire.
A very solid room right there.
So if Geno's still still there, man, he's gonna have just some nice weapons around him. So why did Will Levis fall all the way to the Titans in the beginning of the second round? Do you have any speculation to that? Kentucky quarterback?
Rumor has it, it's just his really strange eating patterns.
You got to talk about that.
This is a guy. Listen, before the draft, there's a video of this dude putting mayo in his coffee.
Oh, no.
And drinking it.
Yeah.
And then
was it Creamer or you just Mayo?
And then the other one is he said something about he doesn't fear the brown on the bananas as he continued to scarf down a brown banana. I think
bananas are only
I think organizations saw that and they said, "Oh, I don't know, that looks kind of dangerous. I don't want that contaminating our locker room." Exactly, it's a red flag. So, man, I don't know why he fell. He was speculated to go into the top 5.
Top 5, man. Yeah,
right?
top
32 teams passed on him in the first round. Shout out to the Titans. Because they look like they got their quarterback now. They ended up getting him.
No matter how they got him, they did get him. And I've read that it could be the toe. I read that his left toe Levis could have issues in finishing the season with that left toe and could have season-ending surgery or even off-season surgery next year. They're saying that he could sit a season if this toe gets re-aggravated or something. So I've read that could be a possible turnoff for teams. And if mayonnaise is going in your coffee along with the toe injury, dog, you're out on my. You're not on my board. I'll wait till next season.
Wraps.
Dog. Okay. So speaking of guys in new areas, right? So your team, the Houston Rockets, I'm jumping right into the NBA, have made move. Hey, they've made a move that's kind of epic proportions, if I have to say.
It's a great move
myself, man. So, man, I'm gonna let you speak to it, Cody. What you got?
Yes, sir. We could have talked about this last episode, right? Yeah. But it's actually better that we didn't, because now I actually got a chance to go listen to our interviews, our press conferences, and overall, I love the hire. Ime Udoka is a Houston Rocket. He is our head coach. I've been saying it for the past 3 episodes. He is the guy we need him. That's the dream.
You spoke it right into existence.
Right, sir. I said that's the dream. We need that. Yes, sir. And I love it. One thing I loved about the press conference that he said youth is not an excuse.
No.
He said these guys have been in the league. They know what it's like. He knows the mistakes are going to happen, right? But at the end of the day, he's going to hold them accountable to NBA players because they've been in the league, and that's what I like, and that's what the Rockets lacked in the past 3 seasons. They lacked accountability. Stephen Silas, all due respect, a good coach is not for the situation. He's been an amazing assistant. He was there with Dallas. He was in Charlotte. He was in Golden State. He's great.
Yeah. He's been on teams that
not the he's a great offensive guy, right? He's just not the best for our team. Udoka now is complete opposite. He is the head coach. He's a guy when when he was hired in Boston was last in the league in assists, right? They were more like an isolation, your turn, my turn team. And after Ime got there, I think they were like a top 5 assist team.
Yeah, they shared
similar
the ball,
situation
man.
in Houston, right? Houston, the joke is we're the AAU team that's in the NBA, right? It's a bunch of isolation, your turn, my turn, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green just chucking up shots. With Ime, he wants to implement team ball, and I think that's a huge step in this roster's, like in phase 2 of the rebuild, right?
Development. Yeah.
Right now, is this a groundbreaking move that's gonna like project us right into contention? No, right? And I'm not gonna say it is, right? Just this coaching hire is maybe gonna get us in like a play-in, right? Like around there, like fighting for a play-in. Because the West is tough, like you have to admit the West is tough, Now, if we're going to be a playoff team, that depends on free agency, right?
Yeah.
If we get the rumored names around us, rumored to be going after James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Chris Middleton, if we get those names with our $16 million in cap space, because remember, Houston is a destination. Top 4 city in the United States, in terms of popularity. Hey. People like it here. There is no income tax in Texas.
Paid income tax, man. Keep your money.
No income tax. You keep your money. And we have $60 million in cap space. We got money to throw around. So, yeah, man. This Houston Rockets team has potential to be great in the next few years, and I love it. I'm all here for it.
So Cody's saying, don't sleep on the Rockets.
Don't sleep on us next year, man. Hey, maybe
all right.
We won't be bottom. We're not gonna be top, but we won't be bottom. Don't sleep.
All right, yes, I feel you. Hey. I feel you. Like the Oklahoma City Thunder, man. Don't forget about them. Keep your eyes open. You know what I'm saying? I feel you.
Hey, but speaking of coaching, right?
You gonna go here? All right. Let's go there.
And we had another coach, championship coach, that just got completely out coached. Now I'm talking about Mike Budenholzer. Heat
Lame
Bucks
out.
series.
Cannot believe it. What happened?
Okay, so it's not completely the Bucks' fault, right? Because at the end of the day, they had Giannis play 11 minutes game 1, miss game 2 and 3, right? So that's the whole, right? But
Okay.
I mean, it's still, you don't expect him to go out in 5.
If anything, a lot went wrong for the number 1 seed.
A lot went wrong, and a lot went right for the 8 seed, Jimmy Butler, right?
Well, which we both had talked about. That's not a real 8 seed, man.
Mm-mm.
They were not a real 8 seed.
That's a team that's built for the playoffs.
Like the Lakers aren't a real 7 or whatever the hell. It's these two teams are pedigree. Those are the two teams that met in the bubble. Like seriously, like they're not who they say they are. They're right. Fraudulent play-in team.
A fraudulent bad team.
I mean, for real, man. They was just sleeping in the dark, man, just waiting on you to.
That's their plan. They wanted you to sleep on them so that they could come in and just take it. But yeah, man.
So go ahead, man. Mike Budenholzer fell apart.
Complete breakdown. Mike Budenholzer makes no adjustments. This Bucks team is still
known to call a timeout.
No call a timeout. Exactly. That's the thing right there. Twice, right? The last possession of the game, like 13 seconds. Giannis doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go take the shot because he doesn't want to get fouled.
He afraid to get fouled.
He was afraid. Bro. He was afraid. He gives it off to Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton's like, "Wait, you're supposed to do this. I don't know what to do." He hands it off to Grayson Allen.
He knows he's the best free throw shooter on the team,
and he knows he's the closer. When Giannis can't close, it's him. But Chris Middleton hands it off to Grayson Allen. Now Grayson Allen has never been in this situation.
Grayson Allen, he's
if
better.
I'm Mike Budenholzer, if I'm a coach, if my team is down there, and my best player hands the ball off, second best player hands it off, and we don't know what to do, and we still have 10 seconds, I'm calling a timeout. I'm drawing up a play.
Yeah, we're clearly.
And
we don't know what's going on.
Before that, taking out Brook Lopez on the possession that sent them to overtime.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I mean, what were they?
If Brook Lopez was down there, if his presence on the court, they might not attempt that same play, or it might get disrupted. Now, credit to Jimmy because that was an amazing shot. It was tough anyway.
Okay, props to Jimmy, but
it was a tough shot.
It was a push off. You saw Jimmy push off, right?
I feel like it could have gone both ways.
Hey, I'm fine with it. It's cool with me. Like just like Michael.
I think
Jordan's
in those situations, it's those heated in the moment. Like you got to let him play.
All in the moment, you can't call that foul.
Yeah,
I'm with it, but
yeah.
If you watch, he take a little push off, and I love it, man. You got to create that space. But I love that the Heat. I love that they pulled this off. I picked the Bucks. It upsets
a lot of people pick the Bucks.
Whole bracket, it upsets the whole thing for me. But truthfully, that's awesome for the playoffs. This is must see TV.
Exactly. There's parity now.
We're getting a Knicks freaking Heat.
We're getting a 5-8.
The second round, which, man, who thought the Knicks would be here? Who thought the Heat would be here? Nah, this is awesome. Awesome.
Man, but you said, speaking of, the Bucks being a lot of people's picks, right? Giannis's post-game interview. What he said, right? When he said, he mentioned Michael Jordan, how he won 6. Are the other 9 a failure, right?
Yep.
Giannis, I completely understand.
You go to work and get a promotion every year.
You don't go, get your promotion every year. You don't do this, right? He went off on my boy Eric, but
hey, watch out, Eric.
I understand what Giannis is trying to say, but I have to disagree. I don't get it. It's not because the Bucks.
You're talking in terms of life, man. Big picture.
But this isn't big picture. This is one season. This is you were the number 1 seed, favorite to win the East. Had a roster to win a championship. You said you wanted the championship. You said ring 2 on the way.
That's right.
So in terms of that, yes, that season was a failure because they had goals to win the championship and they didn't make it. Now,
100%.
Flip it, not to keep talking about my team, but you go to the Rockets' perspective. Our goal was nowhere near winning a championship.
Well, look at the Thunder. Look at the Thunder season.
The Thunder season when they started. That's a successful season. They didn't want to win the championship.
There was no.
Yeah,
right. There was
they met or exceeded expectations. I think that's what defines whether your season is a failure or success, right?
And you don't go into it as the betting favorite, flame out in the first round against the play-in.
Especially in the first round. That's what makes it a real
5
failure.
games, the quickest exit by a 1 seed ever.
History.
The Bucks did that.
But yeah, man. That's enough of that. Miami Heat are taking on the Knicks now, who surprisingly handled the Cavs.
Dude.
In
Dog, okay, so didn't see that coming either. 2 series that I got way wrong.
A series I had to go into 7. I thought it was going to go 7.
Winning it pretty handily. I think I had them winning it 6 or 5. I mean, really, I thought the Cavs were going to do work on New York. I thought Julius Randle's injury was going to hamper them. I thought Mobley was going to do work. I mean, I just thought altogether the Cavs were just going to offensively power down the Knicks. It turns out the other way around, and I'm completely fine with that because we got Jalen Brunson going against with Jimmy Butler on the other side, and I think that's a superstar to be matchup right there. Like, this is Jalen Brunson's moment.
Knicks basketball in the second round. Haven't seen that in a hot minute.
No, this is Jalen. Like I said, I like this for Jalen, especially leaving Dallas. Nobody believed that the contract that he got was warranted, and he has proven that Dallas made a huge mistake and took the Knicks somewhere, like you just said. They haven't.
Major respect to Jalen Brunson because, you know, nobody thought that contract was worth it. They're like, oh, it's an overpay, you know, this and this. And now he's playing at an all NBA level play. You know, not saying he is all NBA or he's going to make a team, but the way he's playing, you know, he's going to get nominations for sure. That's what we know. And for the Cavs, unfortunately, what I think hurting more than anything was their inexperience in their youth.
Yeah,
you know,
ironically.
You had Jared Allen come out and say the lights were brighter than he expected. You know, and that's fine. That's not as I mean, listen, the Cavs were a team that were there when people made this trade. They're like, okay, the Cavs are a few years away now, right? So it's not like it's a complete failure for the Cavs. Obviously, you thought you could win the series.
First round.
Yeah, exactly. You thought you would win the series. Didn't think you'd win the championship, but I mean, ultimately, what you can take out of this for them is it's good for their players to get that experience now. Evan Mobley's now been there. Jared Allen's been there. Garland got there. He shook the nerves off a little bit more. But, you know, we're just going to have to see them next season. But, yeah, what do you think about Knicks Heat?
Knicks Heat, man. Okay, so first of all, the Heat are the underdog. I got to say that out loud.
They're underdog every series.
Do you believe that the Heat are the underdog?
Well, I mean, they're the 8th seed, so technically, yes.
No, really. On paper, they're the underdog.
But yes, because the New York offense is a lot better, and they both have really solid defenses. So it's like, at that point, the Knicks have more. Now, one thing I do want to say about this series, and something I look forward to seeing, is the coaching matchup between Spoelstra and Thibs, right? Because those are two really good coaches. Erik Spoelstra just came out of a series where he coached one of the best series of his life.
Well, he coached circles around Bud.
Coached circles around him. Thibs coached circles around the Cavs. It's, you know, so it's really good. I'm gonna look forward to seeing the adjustments both the teams make, you know, in between games. It's gonna be really fun to watch, and I can't wait to see what Jimmy Butler does.
Yeah, no, can he have a second act following his first amazing, you know, I mean, that was Jordan-esque. We haven't seen anything like that. We've never seen it. Like,
have you seen the theory that he's Jordan's long lost son?
Yeah, I had read a little nonsense on that. Yeah, no, but he's the only guy since Jordan to do 98 points in 2 games or some nonsense like that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Jordan also. I mean, Jimmy, when he got his 50, he got it in a win. By the way, all the other ones were in a loss. So,
yeah. No, that's true. That's true. No, Jimmy, when he did something, his performance, I don't think we were just finishing that on our last episode. That had to be the best playoff performance I think ever. It was something I've never just like the shot difficulty he was making, it was just very impressive.
He turned into a shooter when he needed to. You know, that's a guy that's not known for being able to shoot the three ball, but he made the shots that mattered. That's what I like about Jimmy.
He does that, man. Playoff Jimmy. So yeah, all right. I do. Okay, so how do you think that series goes? You think the Heat can pull it off again? You think this is a bubble scenario where the Heat kind of go? You think they go in the Eastern Conference Finals?
They definitely can. I think it depends on Tyler Herro and how fast he can come back. If Tyler Herro
really depends. They did fine without him against the number 1 seed.
Yeah, but you know, can Jimmy keep it up for that much longer? You know, he's gonna need help at some point, especially you know if he's gonna come in there. Thibodeau is a lot better of a coach than Budenholzer. He's gonna throw different looks at Jimmy. He's gonna make sure he doesn't have that same performance. So I think Jimmy will need the help that he's getting because, I mean, when he did it in the bubble, he had help. It wasn't purely just Jimmy.
I know. No, for sure. You're right. So, I mean, Mitchell Robinson, you got, I mean, who's going to deal with Bam? You know what I'm saying?
Bam's going to deal with Bam. That's, you know, like you don't have to throw somebody at him when Bam himself is not playing to the level he should be playing at. You know, I mean, Mitchell Robinson, he'll be able to hold his own, especially if Bam's not doing that.
But don't you think that was some of what Brook Lopez had to offer? He was second in defensive player of the year. Don't you think Bam played a little poor because Giannis was on the floor? You know what I mean?
Like Bam typically does that. He gets neutralized by, like, if you're a decent defender, you know, Bam typically
nobody on the other side. For this series, I'm like, what they got? They got Obi Toppin, they got Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, and
Mitchell Robinson's length might be enough to, like, you know, contain it to intimidate him because Bam's also a small center.
Yeah, see, to me, I'm going, man. I'm sticking with the Heat. I think what they just showed me, they could do something in these playoffs.
I'm rooting for them too. I love the Heat. You know, I'm Miami and Houston all the way, right?
Yeah,
I think they can do it, but I'll go with the Knicks for this one.
Okay, no, yeah, I got Miami. I'm gonna take them in 6 as of right now, without seeing a game 1. But after game 1, we'll really have a little bit of.
After game 1, we'll reassess our
absolutely
selections.
Miami in 6. We'll see. Second on the delegate here on the note card here, we got Philly. We talked about Philly, Boston. Man, so Philly, Embiid has got an LCL sprain, is that right?
Yeah, something like that. Like it's some type of sprain. And you know, I mean, it was huge that the Hawks won that one game that they won because it gave them some extra rest time. But
yeah,
he's gonna need to be there 100% for that Celtics series. I don't know how healthy he is. I don't know how close he is. I think he's. Last report I saw said he's like 1 to 2 days away, so like a few days away from being back. So that's good. We got a few days of waiting. I think Saturday, Sunday-ish. That's today, Saturday. Huh. When do they play their first game? They play their first game Monday. On May 1st.
Yep, Monday.
Okay, Monday.
At the 6:30 on TNT.
I think he'll be good. I think he'll be back in time. Now, from there, the question is that time off going to affect him a little bit, you know, in terms of on-court? But when you're a great player, you're a great player.
He's going to win the MVP. He better show out.
Exactly, and that's the thing. This is a huge series for Joel Embiid. If he wins the MVP this season, has been top 3 in MVP the last 2 seasons, and he can't make it out of the second round again, a narrative's gonna develop. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, big time, because he's gonna be the only guy that's in this MVP narrative that hasn't been to the conference finals.
Yep, he hasn't been any further than the second round. It's
so he got to have it. This is that time. This is the time. I agree with that completely. So Philly, Boston.
Wait, no, they were in the conference finals once against Toronto, I believe.
Was that a Toronto?
Yeah, because Toronto, they got the Bucks in the second matchup, and then I think we'll fact check it later. But
right, man, I mean. Yeah, what I was saying with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, you know, these guys on the other side, Al Horford, they have They have guys, Malcolm Brogdon. They've got guys who have just. It seems like they are just in the right place at the right time in Boston. I mean, they even had to apologize to Janet Jackson, man. For winning the series late. I mean,
right?
a concert.
I think that's just because they didn't believe it was going to go 6 games. So it's like,
No.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, we'll book you. They should take care of it, and then they didn't take care of it, and it's like, oh, well,
That's
my
ironic.
bad, right?
But Philly, do they have a chance?
Philly, yes, they do have a chance, but it's going to be very difficult, and I think Boston ends up winning them because Boston. This is another one of those teams that they kind of meet every year, right?
Yeah.
And Joel Embiid said it himself, right? It's not a rivalry because they keep kicking our ass every time. Something he said something
100%.
along those lines. And I think that's true. Boston literally owns Philly in every category that there is to own. They're better in just about every department. It's just gonna have to take
James Harden having a
James
monster
Harden.
series.
James Harden needs to have a series where he goes for 25 and 12. Joel
Yeah, and I
Embiid needs
think
to be aggressive, average 35.
if Joel is Joel and Maxey continues to do what he's doing, Harris does what he does. I seriously think the only guy that needs to be over his ski, he needs to play better than he normally does in the playoff. It has to be James. I think he's the guy because he's talented.
On him too.
We go through this. James is he's the second most talented guy on this team, and to me, if he shows up, God, if he shows up like the James Harden of slight Houston, he didn't need to bust 30, but he can give you 2 30-point games in this series. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that would be
because those are huge games.
That'd be pivotal. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that. It would be the move. And everybody else could just be the same. So I would love to see Philly pull it off. I just don't see it happening.
We're gonna need some Jason Tatum bad performances too, which it can happen. It's happened before when
you need them turnovers to show up.
Yep. That's what we need right there. But yeah, man, as of right now, I think Boston takes a series.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Probably maybe 7 or 6, 7-6 to me. It's like one of those two. I don't know.
I think it's in 6. But I hope it's a series. I hope it goes 7.
It's a great series.
I'd love to see Philly pull it off, truthfully.
I'd love to see my boy James pull it off.
It'll be tough either way. They got the Suns or the Nuggets.
It's a tough one. Probably the Suns, but it's a tough one. But yeah, man, speaking of that series, right? Moving over.
Yeah. No, we'll jump to the West Side. So, man, the West Side's got the Suns Nuggets locked up right now. That's the one series locked up. Though one of these two teams, I think, makes it to the finals.
Between the Suns and Nuggets?
Yeah, whoever wins the series gets to the finals.
I can see that for sure. Definitely can see that. Man, unfortunately for the Nuggets, again, I think it's going to be the Suns. I feel like the Nuggets are too much of a regular season team. That's what happens. They always dominate the regular season. They look good in the first round. It comes to the playoffs, they get exposed in every category that they have. And a lot of that
whose hamstring's gonna hold up? That's
don't give me those flashbacks.
I'm sorry, man. I know you of all people know this, man. I'm not saying it to be mean or just a dick to Chris Paul or Kevin or even freaking D Book. I mean, these guys, those
history, yeah.
They've got the history, and you just don't want that to happen in this scenario. I want to see a clean, no injury. If this were 2K, I'd turn the injuries off and let it ride, man. Exactly. We're gonna let these guys play a clean game. And seriously, I love this series. It's gonna be awesome because this is it's gonna prove something for the world. Is Nikola Jokic a dog enough to carry this Nuggets team over Kevin Durant? Because really, the Suns, they don't have a bench. That's four guys.
That's their weakness right there. They have to be healthy.
They're gonna, if one gets hurt, man, this is like a lion. They can't be a 3-legged lion. How many of these you see in the jungle?
I ain't seen one. But yeah, man, and the other troublesome, the only other concerning thing for the Nuggets is Jokic himself has gone on record and he said that DeAndre Ayton gives him the most trouble,
Okay,
which is
that
a
was
weird take to make.
Yeah.
Right. And, and DeAndre Ayton is also another X factor here, right? We need to see him be the DeAndre Ayton that he was when they went to that finals.
He has got to disrupt Jokic. Mm-hmm. He's got to just be in his way all the freaking time.
He has to play physical.
You don't need any points from DeAndre. If he gave you 10 and 15, like seriously, if he gave you 10 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 blocks a game, it would be the best series he can give you, because he's going to be just agitating Nikola the whole game. And I think that's what you want. I seriously, that would be the best thing for the Suns, but we'll see what happens there. I that's the matchup right now, man. I'm really excited about that. Right now, we got the Golden State Warriors playing the Kings, trying to see who's going to play a matchup maybe versus the Grizzlies or the Lakers. But both of these series won't close out. We'll see if they go 7 games. That's undecided right now.
Yep, I mean, it's going to be 2 good series right there. Right, 2 games going on. Warriors, Kings going on right now. Memphis, Lakers going on right after. So, I mean, there's not much to preview here for the second round. But, I mean, Kings have been looking really good. They're surviving Game 6 at home for the Warriors, at least.
Yeah, they're surviving on the road and looking good tonight. They are looking really good. They're making clean shots. They're actually getting in the way defensively, taking charges, disrupting a lot of the things the Warriors are doing. Despite my Curry jersey behind me, objectively speaking, the Kings look like they can win it tonight. And we'll see what happens for the rest of the series. But do you have a prediction for the Suns Nuggets? Do you think
Suns Nuggets? Suns.
Okay. He's no question. He said Suns. Yeah,
they outmatched everywhere. It's unfortunate. Outmatched everywhere except for the center. But yeah,
I say healthy 100 times over.
Health is their biggest. Health will be their kryptonite if anything happens.
One of the Lions' legs gets hurt.
Because also these guys have injury history when it comes to the playoffs. It's, Kevin Durant messed up his Achilles up, and there goes my light. We'll roll with it.
Got the record after dark.
Right. Kevin Durant got the Achilles injury. Chris Paul's had hamstrings. It's like these guys are known to have had injuries in the playoffs, and that could be the factor that loses them the series. Because all you need is once you find that sliver of light, the Nuggets can capitalize. Boom, right there. Jokic can turn up. Jokic can drop another 30, 20, 10 game. That was crazy when he did it.
100%. No, and he can. He's capable. I don't put it past the big guy. I like his game. I've dogged him, but I gotta see more from him in these playoffs to put him further up the scale of superstardom, man. I want to see that. Those guys proved that. This is the time. These are these moments.
Similar situation to Embiid. If you can't go far every time, then what's the matter? What's the point of it? But all right. What about we touched a little bit on Kings Warriors. What about Grizzlies Lakers? Do you think the Lakers close it out?
I think tonight the Lakers have to close it out. If they don't, they lose the series.
I got it the other way around. I think they win in 7. I'd be worried about LeBron James in the Game 7 if I'm the Grizzlies.
I'd be worried about LeBron's minutes in a Game 7.
That's also true.
His legs. He's got to be tired, because either way, if they lose tonight, they got to play in 2 days. Like they need to end it tonight so they get the rest for next week. The Lakers have to win tonight. It's just, in my opinion, as a fan, I think it's time they close out the Grizzlies, because I think they're dangerous. I think if a Game 7 happens, the Grizz speed will overtake the Lakers. They're just so fast, man. These young guys,
their youth, their stamina. Ultimately, I think the Grizzlies have more in the tank than the Lakers do right now. And the more the Lakers have to fight, the harder it's going to be in round 2. In the conference finals doesn't make it. They're going to be gassed. Yeah, man. We're seeing LeBron slowly more and like the wear get to him slowly over time.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is that time. Well, not only that, but he just got back off of injury. So, like, put that in perspective, he's only been back for maybe 5 weeks. You know, so that's not a lot of time to adjust either. But look, he's LeBron freaking James.
I'm saying he's also been injured the most he's ever been, like these past few years. Like the wear and tear is getting to him. I'm not saying time is getting to him. It's just the tear on his body. Next season he'll be the oldest player in the NBA, I think, after Udonis retires.
Yeah, the vibranium wears off. He has become human again. But man, great show, man. That great show. Lakers got to close it out. This was Set the Record. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Cody, all the way from Houston.
Yes, sir.
Malcolm Anthony here. Check us out, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, Set the Record Pod. Like the Facebook page, Set the Record Podcast. Meditate, make it go away.
You're